In this video, we're going to be running through 3 new ways to manage your list views inside of Zoho CRM for everyone. So each of these is relatively new and should be rolling out to your account if it hasn't already within the next couple weeks. So before I jump in, I do want to ask, if you find the video useful, please be sure to like and subscribe down below. Leave me a comment with which one of these is your favorite, kind of most excited to play with. And as always, head on over to Zanata.com and click on book a meeting if you'd like to talk about how we can help on your Zoho installation. So without any further ado, let us jump on in. So the first of the 3 new list views that are going to be rolling out for Zoho CRM for everyone is going to be the grid view. So grid view is essentially trying to give you almost like a spreadsheet style view of the data that you have inside of your CRM. Now, you may be thinking, well, when I open up a list view, let's say I'm in leads or deals, it kind of already does look like a spreadsheet. You know, why would I need this grid view? The big reason here is that using grid view, you can actually go in and make edits to certain fields without opening up the records, right? So if I were to come in here and I wanted to change the revenue or change the, name, I can do that without opening up a record, right? So if we kind of go through some of those use cases, again, able to go in, choose the particular fields that you care about, make sure that you've got any of your filters and custom views. For example, in the deals module, you could update the stage or change ownership. Within the leads module, you could adjust your lead status, all without having to open that particular record, right? Now, that's not all when it comes to grid view. You can also come in, easily create a contact via this view. So if you're watching me here, we can essentially see they are just typing in left to right inside of each of these columns to easily create a new contact via this view. And everything works exactly how it would if you would actually just gone to that create record page, but you don't have to do that. You can just click create and type right in. Now, there are a couple considerations. Things like layout rules might throw this off just a little bit. Looks like right now, if you have a layout rule enabled, you will have to use the normal create form. Data enrichment as well. This is something that does like a pop-up. And then wizards, as you would expect, those are essentially a strict way to create a record. So if you are using any of those, you are going to go through that normal view, but you'll still have the ability to work in the grid view later, make adjustments, do things like that. Now, as we go down the list, we've seen this, so we can do our edits. Over here on the left, you'll have 3 dots. You can do all of those normal CRM actions, send an email, create a task, log a call. Down below, you can also easily convert your data into charts via this view. And I think most interestingly for me, you can create some aggregate columns. So here we're looking at a CRM. Let's say we have this annual revenue value inside of a particular record. I can come in, right click on that column there, and then add a sum, an average, a minimum, a maximum directly to my list view, which I can then see down there at the bottom. As you'd expect, of course, those are only going to apply for numbers, currencies, decimal fields, and the like. Now, as we move down, kind of a couple last little minor changes. You can do some kind of grid view changes and bulk changes as you're looking at this option. So if we go here, we can see, hey, we've selected a few of these records, and then we're going to make a change to a lead source, and that's then going to apply to each of those records that's been selected. So if you are going to be doing any types of mass updates or changes, this could be a smooth way to do that. Last but not least, again, your review and approval processes, of course, are going to apply within these records. I really like this view. We actually have an approval process that we run inside of our own CRM, and I very well might change my view over to a grid for this, just because I kind of like the way this looks, being able to go in, easily see them, click through to get my approval done, and then we can all move on with our day. So really nice. Couple other just minor little things. Client scripts are not yet going to be supported for these. Users in multiple layouts are going to have to select records more specifically. But overall, I really like this. A lot of people love kind of spreadsheet management. I think the biggest thing is just being able to create and edit records directly within my list view without having to open things up. Next one here, in terms of new views, this is actually a pretty cool one. So we now have chart view inside of our lists in CRM. So what exactly does that mean? So let's say I'm here inside of CRM. I go under my 3-dot menu, as we see in their little video here. I can choose now to make this a chart view, as we can see. I can choose how I want the chart to be formatted, very similar to how you would do it inside of CRM dashboards or analytics. And then from there, I can easily just toggle it over to a chart at any time. I can change the type of chart. I can make quick adjustments to how I'm grouping the data and how I'm measuring the data. So here we're doing like grouping leads by lead source, measuring the count of them inside of each source. But if I wanted to change that to say, hey, give me the deals by stage, where the measurement should actually be a sum of the amount, I can easily make those types of changes here. This, I think, is just in line with Zoho's goal to try to make the CRM a little bit more intuitive than just like a list, right? A lot of the times, if you open up a CRM, especially if you're new to using CRM, you look at a page that looks like this, and it's not the most intuitive thing. Now, of course, if you're actually using a CRM, you'd have some filters, you'd be sorting things, so it wouldn't just be this kind of mishmash of data. But nonetheless, being able to easily come in, make a choice about how you want to visualize the data, and then toggle over to that definitely helps. So if I'm working on like a deal flow, it's pretty likely that I want to group things by stage and see, hey, you know what? Like I'm kind of lopsided towards the early part of my funnel. I need to be trying to move some of these people down through the process towards that either close won or close lost stage. So again, really, I think their idea here is to kind of give people a bit of control into visualizing data inside of CRM, but splitting it out from that analytics section, which is normally just going to be controlled by management or leadership teams. I think their idea here is basically to say, hey, how about a salesperson or maybe just a sales manager who doesn't have full admin credentials to go in and mess with the analytics tab? They should be able to come in, kind of play around with making their own visualization and maybe deploying that out to their team or just keeping for themselves. But so here again, it's just that idea of giving you one more way to look at those list view data points without having to go into the analytics tab and kind of disrupt your workflow. Last but not least, yes, there is more, is the timeline view for lists. So this one is pretty cool. This is essentially looking at data that has some type of date parameters where we want to see how things are moving over time. So if we look here as we go in and maybe we're going to create a new deal, we can see we have this expected closing date and we have a start date, right? That could just be your creation date in a lot of cases. I can now come in and create a timeline view that's actually going to kind of, I'm not going to say Gantt chart because it's not a Gantt chart, but it has that type of view where I'm saying, hey, give me a start date and an end date, give me a color code so I could do by stage or by, industry, and then show me these things on a timeline, right? So what am I expecting to have finished by certain dates and times, and when did I start on these things? Now, this is an interesting one. Being candid, this is not one that I would see myself using very often, but for longer deal cycles or, potentially even for like tasks or certain work items, more than I would use this for like a deal pipeline, we can essentially come in, color code by stage. So you can see here they're saying, hey, green is completed, blue is in progress, yellow is futuristic, or, maybe expected for the future. And I can come in on a particular day and kind of see where I'm supposed to be at on a set of records. So if I'm this user here, I know that my expectation was that I was going to close this deal before the end of today. Here I can also group this up. So for a manager, they can kind of come in and see, hey, how are these two different deal owners stacking up side by side in terms of their pipelines? And then this is really where I think this is kind of cool. You can actually make adjustments to these based on this view. So if I'm looking at a deal, if we go back up to, maybe this visual example up here, where was that? Here we go. So this deal here, I look at Skyline Towers and it's like, oh, you know what? This actually isn't going to close today. From this view, I can go ahead and extend that closing date out into the future, right? So that I can easily kind of keep an eye on these things. That's really, I think, the main use case for this view, at least as far as I would see people using it, is that because it gives you that easy visualization and easy ability to change some of these dates from this view, you might be able to have your team kind of use this as an easy way to make sure the closing dates are staying accurate. One of the things that I know grinds a lot of sales managers' gears is the idea that, it might be the 5th of June and they go in and they see a bunch of deals that have a closing date as of May that are not closed won or closed lost, right? And they go in, they're like, update these dates, guys. That's kind of a pain in the butt to do when you're going record by record and changing it with the pick list option. But here, instead, making that change pretty easy and being able to go in and just kind of visually drag and drop things as to where you expect them. Last but not least, just a little bonus update for you, just in case you missed it. Rich text is now being supported for notes inside of Zoho CRM. Thank goodness. This has been about 5 years coming, but now you're able to actually bold, bullet point, do all of those normal rich text operators inside of notes. Just wanted to throw this one in here as a bit of a gift for those who watch through the whole video. They'll now know that this exists. This is a feature that we're all super excited for and that I could imagine myself using later today and basically every day thereafter. So go ahead and give these a try. Big update there. Again, these things that seem kind of minor sometimes make a pretty major difference in terms of how you're able to use your CRM. With that, I think we're wrapping up here for today. As always, I'd love to hear down in a comment which one of these 3 views is most interesting to you. I think honestly for me, grid view probably wins just because of the ease of being able to make changes to records while I'm looking at them in a list. But I could see a pretty strong case for chart views as well. So let me know what you think down in the comments. While you're down there, go ahead and like and subscribe if you found the video useful. As always, my name is Tyler Colt, and I will see you next time.